I just wish someone had just come and rung the bell or knocked us or just said they're going to raise the barrier. I'm Liz Watson.
I'm Duncan Watson.
We've lived in Huntington Road area for almost 38 years. We've never been flooded before, but last Christmas we were affected by the floods. We'd had a phone call about 11 o'clock at night, check your house because there's reports of flooding and we can see water. We went out at the front and the junction was flooded, got up about 5:30, 6 o'clock the next morning, walked down the stairs and stepped into a foot of water.
We had no warnings whatsoever. Why didn't they go around with a siren or,
A loud hailer.
A loud hailer saying, we're lifting a barrier, get your things up and so on, but nothing.
Or maybe we were a little bit complacent, but we thought, well, we've been through the 1982 floods with no barrier, we've been through the 2000 floods with the barrier and no water at all. We thought we were going to be okay. We had no phone calls from the Environment Agency, and we didn't even at that point know that we had to register to get a flood warning, because we didn't think we were at risk. It came from the back of our house and also it came round from the front. We'd sort of lulled ourselves, I would say, into a false sense of security that it would just be clean up. We really didn't know what to do because we'd never been in this position before. And there was nobody there to tell us what to do. You're having to sort of try and think on your feet.
I was dealing with builders and getting estimates. I had electricians, plumbers. I was coming into the house fairly regularly to get things to move them to our temporary home. I was walking into a house which had these humidifiers going 24/7, these blowers going, walking into the same scene all the time. It just became so depressing that it didn't feel as though we were making any progress. We just said, look, we're just going to give up on this house. We don't care for it anymore.
It was a very, very upsetting time. We finally moved in at the beginning of August. Moving back was good in a way, but we felt as though we'd moved house 3 times because of course we'd had to move everything upstairs and then we'd had to move everything sort of out because the house was wrecked. It took about 7 months.
It was a pretty low point.
We did feel as though we'd never ever get back here. So all the memories of bringing up the children, all the happy times, there was this cloud hanging over it. We just kept saying to ourselves, nobody's died, they were just possessions and a house can be rebuilt. I think advice to people who are considering insurance is be careful as to what you're actually buying. Look carefully at the small print. The community seemed to come together. We did have some money from the flood fund, which was lovely. We were out of pocket having to pay for the whole kitchen, which the insurance didn't. They've given all the flooded families £300 this Christmas, and it was just a lovely thought. Even now, every time it rains, I'm thinking, oh, here we go again. We've just got to trust that the Environment Agency has got it right with the flood barrier. They've learnt from the mistakes and nobody has to be sacrificed.